I would like to start by a small gallop, by show of hands on, these Wi-Fi connected lamps? Who here would by show of hands, consider that to be an Internet of Thing? A thing in the... Yeah, 30%, more or less. Your own laptop? One person? 2, 3. They're coming in, but not that many. Your phone? Yeah, about double as many at least. Your phone running an app that registers how much you move in a day? Going up slightly, but not much. GPS in your car? Half vote there. Self-driving car? Not too many actually, neither. And a FedEx package. Yeah, quite many. Or at least well in the level of the self-driving car, I would say. Reason I have the FedEx package as one of the questions or examples here is that this is the original definition of the term Internet of Things. It was defined in 1999 by someone whose name I've forgotten. At the time when the RFID tags were the next big thing. So the original meaning of this was that things were machine identifiable, possible to identify with a machine, had an identity which was machine readable, and you stored this in a database somewhere on the internet. This term, as we all know, it has been hijacked since and spread to a lot of areas, with transportation as one of them. Self-driving cars is often counted as, not in this crowd, which is more picky, but but among the populace, the ones that don't know that much, are counted as Internet of Things, and actually as one of the killer apps, together with the smart home. This is one of the things which is easy to explain to people, and people it's very easy to say that this will change my life. Also, of course, they're very strong in this sense because there are actually cars driving by themselves. While a lot of other things is more or less visions, a bit more, will it happen, will it not happen? The term self-driving cars is, in my opinion, not the right term. This should be called automobiles. Another area very much in center of Internet of Things is the quantified self, or imposing self-discipline by measuring, monitoring yourself. How much you train, how much you eat, how much you sleep. Health, which I've been working somewhat with. We are also seeing a lot of projects in health sector. Quite natural, because health is very much, or normal healthcare is very much about monitoring and finding the exact dosage of things. Also because they have a tradition of they're very keen on collecting data and medical history. This is one of my favorite Internet of Things actually. These small pills are contained in a shell of magnesium and contains a small radio transmitter. So when you swallow them and they come in contact with the stomach acid, the acid functions as a battery acid and produces just enough energy to send a radio pulse to a wristband, which will then register at exact this time this pill started to dissolve in your stomach. It's very special used, of course, but I find these things I find impressive. As just bundled together agriculture with health. This, of course, it's two very different fields, business-wise and nice-wise. But actually, it's about the same needs. It's very much about monitoring and providing exact dosage of health ingredients or of nourishment. We have already experienced e-shopping, of course, on our computers. And I think this is one of the applications of Internet of Things that we will see that will be most prevalent in our lives. That the shops are spreading into our homes everywhere. Amazon is definitely betting on this. They have a series of products called Dash. This one came just 2 weeks ago, I think, made some noise. It's a button. In this case, you can place these buttons everywhere in your home, wherever you like. And in this case, if you press this one, next day you will get more detergent for your washing machine. So it's a one-click shopping, but moved into your home. For the lazy ones who don't care about pressing a button, Amazon also provides this Dash series for manufacturers to build into their machines. So a coffee grinder is their example of a machine that would by itself order more coffee when it's running low. From Amazon, naturally, that's why they... this requires some more manual labor. It's a barcode reader you would have in your home, and you would, I need this one, I need that one, I would need one of these. And next day, they will be at your doorstep. Finally, from Amazon also is this Echo loudspeaker. It's a sound system for your living room, but it's also voice controlled. So sitting on your sofa, if you remember, I would need one of those, you would say, Echo, please order me. Then whatever you need. And if it works anything like Siri, it will be a great surprise the next day. Marketing is very interested in this area. Both from they want to have targeted advertising, targeted billboards. It's like the ads you see on your web pages, which is directed at you or whatever they know about you and your interests. This will see spread out in the physical space. This is a very primitive, early, but actual billboard from somewhere in Israel where they show the name of the person passing under it. Marketing is also very interested in Internet of Things because they love data. They love data about their customers. They love data about how the product is used. They love data about the environment the product is used in. So they very much into this area and very much over it. The second, maybe, killer application, or easy to explain, easy to vision around, make visions around, is the intelligent home, where we'll get alarms, locks, indoor climate, sound systems, lights, everything connected, interconnected, or connected to each other, or connected to an app in your phone. And as a happy revisit or comeback, we will see the refrigerator, which will know that your milk is out. This has been a part of IT visions since the 80s, I think. Every new thing has contained this refrigerator, and it's still not gone out of style. It's still unable to order milk, but maybe this time. And we see a lot of visions about interconnectivity between these all different things in your home, and almost expressions of almost butler-like ability to anticipate your every wish. And just to make sure that there is some debate after this, after I've finished talking, I will also tell you this is bullshit. This will not happen. I would say not in a million years. I think it will happen in a million years, but not very soon after that. And since this is a particular crowd, I would like to issue a warning. Stay out of these Wi-Fi connected lamps. I know several of you are already lost to this and spending most of your free time trying to get your home wired. But for those who are not yet, just say no. We have the intelligent city. These are projects going on several places, which mostly is about traffic and parking. About 25% of the cars driving in a city is actually looking for a place to park themselves. So there can be, if you know where the parking is, if you know where the cars are, of course this can make a tremendous difference. Some projects is also about environment and such, but very much intelligent cities really quite much about traffic planning. Got entertainment. Just as we have multiplayer games on the computer, we'll have multiplayer toys. Virtual reality, I would say, can be a kind of Internet of Things. This one shown here, you have seen the Oculus glasses, which give you vision. This is a co-product to that, so you can now not only see things virtual, you can also feel the wind blowing in your hair, and you can get the rain splashing over it, and you can feel the foul smells of this planet which you are trying to save or escape or something. And of course, I would be very much surprised if we don't see a lot of sexual applications of this. This is a hallmark of every new technology, that sex applications will move in very early on them. The military, they do love to kill people. They do hate to have their own soldiers killed. So they're very much into this. And I think it would be fair to say that the drones, for example, the predators already are Internet of Things. And you see a lot of other projects, not only in the air, but on land, on sea. And it's a bit tricky now. Okay, we've seen all this field. But what is Internet of Things? And it's a bit like asking yourself, what is things that use electricity? I mean, obviously, they are of tremendous importance. This would be a totally different society did we not have electricity. But it's very hard to find something that is common for all these things, except that they use electricity, of course. And it's a bit like that with Internet of Things also, and that's why it's an area which sometimes can be a bit confusing when people with different backgrounds, different views on this come together and talk about it. And sometimes it feels like this is more, maybe Internet of Things is more like an ambition to be modern, to be a part of the future, to stay relevant, than an actual technology. But I'm still going to try to, I'm not going to try to define Internet of Things, but I'm going to try to make a list of things that you actually will find, often will find, in things that has the ambition to be it. Starting with machine-readable identity. This is a bit controversial. This is the FedEx package. And I saw several of you actually agree with me that it's still an Internet of Thing, or at least a proto thing. But more importantly nowadays is the sensors, that things are aware of their inner state or aware of their environment. But a sensor in itself is not enough. You need to do something. They have a tremendous ability to produce data, but you need to do something with the data. So you also need some kind of hub, computer, processing power, and you need a model. You need to have an idea on this data which I get from the sensor and some other sources. What does it mean? What can I do with it? How can I act on it? You need something. Basically, you could say you need something here that takes data and makes it into information. And you need a model, an idea on how the meaning of the input. They are not very surprising. The internet connection is important here, or often found in Internet of Things. Both connection to the general internet. I would say that the most popular such connection is weather data. But there's also energy prices in different times of the day, such sources, traffic reports, depending on the application, on the thing, what it's supposed to do. And there's a user interface. The user must be able to, in most cases at least, able to tell what to kill, where to drive, what to stock up in the cupboards. So these are the three primary sources, so say input sources. I don't mean mechanical input sources. There is of course a possibility for a dialogue and for this model or hub or whatever to require information. Looking at, okay, so what does this lead to? Look at the user level. Not least these movement trackers, training trackers, they're extremely fond of producing information graphics. And a lot of Internet of Things are actually extremely fond of producing that and presenting that as one of their great advantages, that now you can get an overview on how much you've been training, drinking coffee, using the toothbrush, driving in the city, and such. They also often connect it to the internet to take their insight or their data or their information and give it either to other computer systems or to things around them. I should say this also. Another important source for some things are other things around them. So some of these applications are actually a collective, joint effort of many things which commute within themselves. So, and it of course goes in this end also. And there are some things which are able to affect the physical environment, the self-driving car, the military drone. And they have actuators, which in Swedish would be stelldon. And it's like a sensor, but the exact opposite. It changes the world. It doesn't read the world, it changes it. Sometimes you can find all of this in one physical enclosure, in one thing. But it's also very, very common to find them spread out over different things. This, for example, in home automation, you will find the sensors as one separate physical thing, the hub as another, and Philip lights, the smart lights as a third thing. So quite often, it's not so much a thing as a kind of a system or a cluster or a co-op. It's a co-op. And this one, it's not unusual for it to not be physically there. It's more to use, quite common to just use the cloud and have a virtual computer or virtual processor in the cloud. Hur ligger jag till med tid? Lagom. I ligger till with time. My time is lagom, which is a good Swedish word. So then he will forgive me for talking a little bit more, but not much. An important thing to realize this is there's a huge difference between consumer Internet of Things, which is very hot and very new, and Internet of Things for the industry. Industry, this is actually nothing new, almost nothing new. This is something we've been doing for a very, very long time. In the background here is one of the first Internet of Things. It's a system for controlling railroads with sensors, knows where the train is, user interface, which is what you see here, actuators, which will set the switches, a network. They didn't use the internet, but still a network for bringing this information. And you see this if you look at the industry, they've been doing this under different names, from point-of-sale system, signaling system, process industry, machine to machine. It has been going on for a long time. So in many ways, it's a mature technology. Looking at that, the big difference I think for industry will be the products that they make, the consumer products, not so much how they make it. This said, of course, there will be a tremendous change also for industry. There's a lot of new opportunities, much higher tempo. But they are not as much as the consumer side hyped into this. It's more a mature receival of it. What we see now is, and very much the reason why we are here, sitting here all together, wondering what the fuck happened. This was nothing a half a year ago, and now it's something I definitely want to work with. Is that we have a perfect storm. A lot of factors going the same way. Maybe the most important one is that we have internet everywhere. We've got mobile networks everywhere. The sensors has gone down in price dramatically and become much more capable. Cloud computing is contributing to this. And also big data, because these sensors are producing tremendous amounts of information. And at least we have started to learn how to handle these amounts of information. And if you have an idea, I want to do this, it's a very good time to have an idea right now in this field, because you have all the components. You have Arduino, you have something which is a kind of Lego for technicians. So you just put together all the logic. You get, and you don't need to care about the user interface, because you can just assume that everyone is using a smartphone. So you have the basis for the user interface, or the graphical user interface at least, there, and you have the internet connection there very cheaply. You get the 3D printers, so you can make a nice shell for your product, and you actually don't have to spend all your days meeting old guys with money, because you can get it financed by Kickstarter. No, I think except for this forum, which is excellent. There's also a Facebook group, Internet of Things Sverige. And if you're interested, I'm writing some about it in my blog, anvendbart.se. Hopefully, there will be some chapters from the book coming there also, once I've written them. And that's it.
All right.